Hi guys, Traversal ENT in the building. We're back with another one. Guys, I wanted to touch up on a comment that Tyson Fury made about Deontay Wilder and see what you lot thought about it. Because I'm not too sure and I haven't really had time to think this through. So I'm going to do the thinking whilst I'm speaking to you lot at the same time. Simultaneous work here, right? So Tyson Fury said that apart from him, no one beats Deontay Wilder. Big statement. Apart from Tyson Fury, no one beats Deontay Wilder, he says. Personally, I'm one of those people that think Deontay Wilder is still very dominant in a heavyweight division. Two reasons. Number one, because I don't see a lot of people avoiding that right hand the whole 12 rounds. That's number one. Number two, I don't think there's that many elite level talents in the heavyweight division. I was going to do a video on that, the lack of elite level talent in heavyweight, but I might just leave that for the time being. You got Joshua, you got Fury, and in my opinion, you got White. These are the top three, in my opinion, right? But then outside of that, all the other guys you got, the Joseph Parkers, the Andy Ruiz, they're good fighters, but they're not elite. They're good fighters, but they're not elite. That's just my opinion. So there's a shortage in elite fighters. That's why when you look at someone like Tyson Fury's CV, he hasn't got elite level competition because there's not that many elite level fighters in boxing. Anyway, so my question is this. When it comes to Deontay Wilder, is there anyone outside of Tyson Fury that can beat Deontay Wilder? Now, a lot of you AJ fans will say, well, duh, Anthony Joshua. Well, that's up for debate. By no means is it a foregone conclusion that AJ wins against, against Wilder. Do not allow the fact that you witnessed Tyson Fury destroy Deontay Wilder, that automatically means everyone else will do so, including AJ, including White, no. It doesn't work like that. The same way the triangle theory doesn't work in boxing. You beat him, or he beat you, and you beat him, therefore I can beat. The same way that theory doesn't work, the triangle theory, it's the same way you cannot make a conclusion based on what you saw one fighter do to a guy. Right? I am not under any circumstance one of those people that say AJ beats Wilder. I've never said it, I never will say it. To be very honest with you, before the Fury fight, if I had to pick a winner, I would have probably picked Wilder. That's just me being very honest with you. Before the Fury fight, I would have probably picked Wilder to beat AJ by knockout. Because I would have thought to myself, AJ does get touched in every fight. And as much as I would have thought that AJ can knock out Wilder, I would have concluded that it's going to be the first person who lands who wins that fight. And I still believe the same thing now. If them two get in the ring, the first one to land is going to knock the other one out. I still believe that. So it could be Wilder, it could be AJ. The only reason why I was favouring Wilder before the Fury fight is because he had the longer arms and he was the faster one of the two. So that's why at the back of my head, I never vocalized it. You never heard Traversal ENT come out of a video and say it. But at the back of my head, I just thought that. Today, with the defeat he's had, that might be a different story. Because AJ could approach that fight very differently to how he would have approached it before. For example, if AJ had approached that fight back enough, cagey, respectful, he would have been knocked out, in my opinion, quickly. But if AJ approaches the fight gun-ho, he stands a good chance in knocking out Wilder quickly. So it's a 50-50 fight. Aside from Anthony Joshua, aside from Tyson Fury, is there anyone in the heavyweight division that can beat Deontay Wilder? And if there is, who? Who beats him? Like, seriously, who actually beats Wilder in the heavyweight division? I couldn't give you many names at all. Dillian White, nope, it'll come up short in my opinion. Andy Ruiz, I heard someone say Andy Ruiz would beat Deontay Wilder, and I had to continue walking past the person who said it. I literally couldn't stand still and have a conversation with him about it because, you can believe that all you want, but to have me sit down and talk about that with you, find someone else. Because for me, that's so crazy, I just can't. Andy Ruiz wouldn't even reach Deontay Wilder. Don't forget, Wilder's never been the person who fights short. AJ fights short, even though he's a tall person at times. AJ's always said, and I could pull up the video if you lot really want me to, I could do it. AJ himself has said that he finds it difficult to fight shorter fighters. They give him more problems just because of their dimensions. Whereas someone like Wilder, he fights long, so Ruiz would not have much success with Wilder at all. He'll get tagged, he'll get put to sleep very quickly, in my opinion. So who beats Deontay Wilder then? Joseph Parker? I know you don't believe that. I know you don't believe that. Who does? Well, the truth is, I don't know. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if that is the case, and it's not a foregone conclusion that AJ beats Wilder either, to me, the heavyweight division is so... Like, you can put 1, 2, 3 as in who's the best based on their records. Because Fury's undefeated, you're putting him at number 1, and because of the fact that he beat Wilder. And you're putting AJ, many people, not everyone, but many people putting AJ second. Some put him first. But the truth is, until all these guys fight each other, we really don't know who the best is. Because what happens if Tyson Fury gets knocked out by Anthony Joshua, for example? If Tyson Fury gets knocked out by Joshua, does that automatically mean AJ is the best heavyweight? Well, yes and no. Yeah, you beat the guy that, you beat Tyson Fury, who was regarded by many to be number 1. But AJ hasn't proven himself against a Deontay Wilder. Can you prove that you can do what Fury done to Wilder? And say AJ fights Wilder and Wilder knocks AJ out. Then what happens to the heavyweight division? Then who's the king in the heavyweight division? So do you see, the heavyweight division is very much like the welterweight division was before Errol Spence got in there. Because Spence was the guy that came in who started beating everybody and started becoming the recognizable face. But before that, this guy would be that guy might be this. It was messy. You didn't know who was number 1, who was the best welterweight. We do not know for sure who is the best heavyweight. Now, a lot of us think we're going to find out with this fight with AJ Fury, but does that really mean that the winner... If Fury beats AJ, I believe, yes, Fury can absolutely claim he's the best because he's beaten Wilder and he's beaten AJ. He's done it all. He's beaten everyone he was supposed to beat. That's if Fury wins. But if Fury loses, then who's the best heavyweight? Anthony Joshua? Because there's 3 players here. There's Wilder, Joshua, Fury. You need to beat 2 of the 3 to claim you're the best. The only person that's in line to doing that is Fury. AJ's not in line to doing that. So if AJ beats Tyson, he can't claim he's the best heavyweight in my book. I mean, he'll have the biggest... he'll have the strongest argument, but in my book, you're not... I don't know. You've beaten one of the 2. What about the other guy? Go and beat him next. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it's a tough one, that one. So who beats Deontay Wilder outside of Tyson Fury? If you say outside of AJ, who beats Wilder? I honestly could not give you a name at the moment. I can't. Because I think anyone you put Wilder in there with, he will knock out. I don't underestimate Wilder just because Fury beat him. And I don't think Dillian Whyte beats Wilder. I don't think he beats Wilder. I don't. There you go. That's boxing for you, innit? That's the brilliant. That's why I love this sport. All these unanswered questions that I would love to get an answer for. Let's just hope it happens and these fighters all do end up fighting each other. I'm glad to hear Joshua and Fury got it going on. I can't wait to see that fight, guys. Traversal ENT in the building. Let me know in the comment section down below who you lot think is capable of beating Deontay Wilder. Like, seriously, don't just throw me stupid names out there. Seriously, who's capable of beating Deontay Wilder outside of Joshua Fury? Peace out, signing out. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like and comment down below. I'll be responding.